What is going on, folks? ST here, and today we're going to be looking at an AIO. Yes, an all-in-one device. Today we're going to be looking at the Z Biip. Yes, this is a product collaboration between Phil Busardo, the VapinGreek, Dimitri himself, and Innokin. So, this one was sent to me for the purpose of this review. So let's go down, see what you're going to get in the box, show you some of the ins and outs on this one. We're going to come back up top, vape on it, give you my final thoughts. So let's go down and take a look at this one. Alright, so here is the packaging that the Z Biip comes in. And what you're going to get in the box. So first of all, it does come with two different coils. You're going to get a 1.6 Canthal coil. Also, you're going to get one of the Z-Plex 3D 0.48 mesh coil, micro USB charging cable, spare O-ring, of course user manual, and another little detailed manual here that I highly suggest you look at this before using your device. Got a lot of helpful information in that one. And of course you're going to get the device itself. So first of all, this one does come in 6 different colors. You've got 3 solid colors, and then you have 3 that have this type of pattern on it. And the ones like these right here, I forget the exact name of them, but it comes in a blue, this green, and a goldish brown color. And I gotta say, this design right here, this thing, I just love the way it looks. But the solid color ones also look pretty classy themselves. So you'll have this little cap here on the top that you just take off. Before we talk about the device itself, let's go ahead and look at the pod and everything about it, and then we'll get to the device. So first of all, to remove this pod, you really need to watch this right here, because a lot of people that just pull this out of the box and feel they don't have to read instructions, they're going to have a hard time with this one. So pretty simple. All you want to do is hold the device, put your thumb right here, and kind of push in an upward movement, and it pops right off. Easy as that. But if you try to fight with it in any other way, it's just not going to come off. So remember, all you want to do is just kind of push up. It's going to come off. Also, you just heard that beep. The beep does indicate when it makes a connection with the battery to let you know that it has made a secure connection there. So remember, once again, just push up. That'll pop off. So the pod itself, as you can see here on the bottom, you do have this adjustable airflow ring. It's going to have 3 little holes here on each side for your airflow settings. Now I have to say, I've been leaving mine just at the one on both sides. I like the nice restrictive hit I get off of it with that, but there are different settings for whatever you please, and of course, whatever one side you do, it's going to be the same on the other. Now to get to the coil on this, all you want to do is unscrew the ring itself, and pretty true to fashion how a lot of their other tanks have been, you just got the coil that slides in place. Pretty easy. There is only one way that this coil is going to go into this pod right here, and again you have these little tracks lined up, so once you put it in there it's going to line right up. But this right here is the 0.48 mesh coil. This is a new one. I have been running the other one for a while now, but I did want to show you what the newer one looks like. Another cool thing about these, all of the Z coils are compatible with this. So the Zenith coils, the Glide coils, all those are all compatible with this. So if you have those particular tanks, those coils will work in this right here. So another plus. So let's go ahead and put that back in. You want to tighten this up. Now, the pod itself right here is a 2 mil capacity, but I can say this, as of this date, I would say in the next few weeks they are going to have a 4 mil pod come out. So if that's something you're interested in, you can pick one of those up. I do not know the exact price on that, but you can best bet I'll be getting one. 2 mil's not bad, but I would love to have the 4 mil. So all in all, not bad at all. It's kind of a large piece when it's all put together. And one other thing I do want to state on here, so let me take this back off. If you ever decide to purchase just another pod, make sure you do not discard this AFC ring. The new pod will not come with this. And so if you dispose of this whole thing with the ring, you are going to be in trouble. So make sure you take this ring off and keep it. I do believe that they will be selling that as an accessory somewhere, but to save you some time and money, just make sure you take that off before you dispose of this. And that is only when you decide if you want to purchase another one or have an extra one handy if you're running a different juice and want to have multiple pods. So, all right. Also, to fill this, pretty cool thing here. I tell you what, let me throw it back on the device itself. It makes it a little easier. Now, what was shown to be done and what I do are two different things. So they state you should pull this up just a little bit and then turn it. But what I've come to find out, this tends to get just a little bit slick to me, and I can't get a firm hold on it just to pull up because it is spring loaded. So all I do is just basically spin mine like that. Now again, it's kind of an upwards push. As you can see, once you spin it, it kind of falls back into place just a hair. But yeah, I just spin mine right there. Of course, you have this little silicone sleeve or whatever you want to call that right there. And it's pretty easy. So all you want to do is, let me find some juice that I want to use. Ah, here we go. Let's use this. Let's use a little blue glaze. Pretty easy though. All you want to do, stick that in there, start filling, and let me show you something pretty neat on here. Let me put a little more juice in so you can actually see it. So right down here you'll have this window, and you can see where your juice is at when you're filling it up. Too, with having this silicone piece right here, if you overfill, it just won't come gushing back. It kind of prevents it from going all over the place. Also too, that prevents, even when you've got this lid on, that you're not going to have any leaking coming out from the top, which again is something I like on there. But real easy to fill it. Another thing you can do too, you can just actually have it out of there. You can spin that, put it in there, and then you can just watch it like that fill up. Again, kind of hard to see on camera, but so let's talk about the device itself. Let me click that back in, and let me put some juice on that just for purposes of cutting this back on. Let me see where I'm at. That's good. Alright, so the device itself, it does house a 1500 milliamp battery. What material it's actually made of, I'm not 100% certain of, but this thing is built like a tank. It is very heavy duty. So, to turn this device on, you just want to go on this side firing bar right here. You want to click it 3 times. And as you can see, when it's kicked on, you'll be able to see what battery percentage you're at the bottom. You get these little lights to indicate. Of course, it goes up to 3 of them. And of course, as your battery life starts to drop off, you're going to start losing a light. So you get to 2 lights, you know you're probably running around 50%, and then so on. Also, you'll see right here, this tells you what strength you're running it at. This device has 3 different settings, and let me turn this off and show you how to set these. So again, to turn it off, 1, 2, 3. The device is off. So you have 3 different settings on here for strength. All you want to do is just hold your side firing bar, and it's going to go through the colors. So let's get back to red. Red being the strongest, red is going to be 16 watts, the green is going to be 14 watts, and then of course your blue is going to be 11 watts. Now, if you're running the 1.6 coil, probably would suggest you run it in the blue, but if you're going to run the 0.48 mesh coil, probably going to get a better situation running it in the red or the green. A little bit higher wattage on there. Also, if you hear this thing makes noises, pop that back in. Again, like I just said, that lets you know that you've made connection with your device. It also does a few other things. So you're going to hear certain beeps on it to tell you certain things are going on with your device. First of all, once your device gets to 50% on battery life, it's going to beep twice. When it gets to 20%, it's going to beep 3 times. So when you put it on the charger, let it charge, then it will beep 5 times to let you know that you have a full charge on this device. Also right there you can see where your connection for your micro USB cable goes for charging. And one other little feature it has here on the bottom, if you're just not a big fan of the beeps at all, there is a switch where you can cut that off and you don't have to hear it at all. But I think it's a pretty little cool thing to have on there, so I've left mine on. Now you'll notice that what looks to be 2 identical panels, only one of them is actually your firing. The other one is just there for looks. But again, all in all, this thing is built, it's built like a tank, and it looks damn good. And one of the features on here that I gotta say I love the most is that right there. The way they did these tips on here, I just think it's the coolest thing. It's so comfortable to hold this device, and once you take a pull off of this, I mean, this just forms to your mouth so good, so perfect, just like what a cigarette used to do. But I gotta say, of all tips I've had on something like an AIO or anything, this by far has been the best experience I've had with one. So folks, that is it right there. Let's go back up top, vape on this one, and give you my final thoughts. Alright, we're back. Let me get a vape. Nice, running some 12 milligram through this, perfect. So let's get right down to it. First of all, on this device, I have to say, I think one of the biggest issues that people might find with this one, and it's really the only one, this device is a little bit on the heavy side. For some people, they're not going to care at all, But for some people that are looking for more of that pocket device, they might think that this one might be just a little on the heavy side. But the reason for it being heavy is because it has that 1500 milliamp battery, the internal battery in it. And that's really what brings the weight onto it. So you can look at it like this. You can have just a little bit of extra weight and have a whole lot more battery life on it. Or you can go to something that doesn't weigh much and you'll be charging it quite a bit. So let me say that with this one. Charging this one. Now, I do not use this device exclusively, just like I've stated in all my other videos. I use this off and on during the day. Now, for the time that I've had this, and I've had this device now for a few weeks, I have literally kept it on my desk, used it off and on throughout the day for 3 to 4 days straight without ever throwing it on a charger. So if this was my only device, I would be almost certain I could probably easily get probably close to 2 days out of this one, I'm thinking. So, and it just depending on what coil you use, at what battery strength you're using also too. So, which brings me to the Z coil line on this one. They're all compatible with this one, so you have a few different choices of coils there. Also, it does come with a 2mm pod, but here in the near future, which I think we're looking at a few weeks at the time of this video being made, they are going to have a 4mm pod for this. And even that right there, I think I would enjoy the 4mm pod more than I would the 2mm, just because I could fill this thing up and there's pretty much no maintenance on it for a while. Juice is going to last for a good bit. Of course, battery's going to last me a good while on it too, so win-win situation there. All in all though, I've had a very good experience with this device, and I think a lot of people out there that are trying to get off cigarettes, if they get this right here, I think they're really going to enjoy this one. I know when I was trying to get off cigarettes, again, the devices that were offered to me at that point in time weren't near as good as what's out on the market now. And if I would have been able to get my hands on something like this compared to what I did get my hands on, I think the temptation for a cigarette during the process of getting off smoking would have even been dominated quicker using something like this compared to what I was using. So I gotta say, very nice vape on this one. And one of the best things about this device, and it's gonna sound funny, but the best thing I love about this one, yes, that drip tip. And again, that might sound funny, but it doesn't matter how you hold this device, you just put it up and hit it. There's no looking to make sure that it's flat or it's on this side, whatever the case might be. However you're holding it and you put it up to your mouth, it's going to be perfect every time. So that is one of the key things about this that I love so much. Plus I just get that natural feel, kind of like back in the days of when you were smoking. So I gotta say though, Phil, Dimitri, you did an awesome job with this one right here. I know the going price on these, they're going for about 45 bucks. I'm not going to list any sites because that's just typically what I don't do that. But most of your bigger vendors out there are carrying it, so you can pretty much type any of them in. I'm certain they've got them. So, but like I said, they're going around the $45 range. Good price on it, especially for everything that you get in the kit also. One last thing too, color options on these. I gotta say, I really do like that. I like that style that they've got going there with it. But even the solid colors that they have, all of them look classy. I mean, it doesn't look like some crazy 2-year-old painted on a device. These really have that kind of more sophisticated look to them, so I really do like that about it. Plus one other thing too, that sidebar action really doesn't matter where your hand is at. As long as you got it on that side, Oh yeah, it's great. So if you're looking for an AIO, I highly suggest you go check out the Biip. And two, how could I forget the Biip? That audible noise that you'll hear, especially like when the battery's going down, all this and that. Just one other cool feature to it. Now I gotta be honest to say, if the audible thing wasn't even there on the device, really wouldn't make a big difference to me. I understand the target audience they were going after on that one, but for me that's really no big deal. It's just, I guess, another extra on it. But well folks, that's all I got on this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. As always, I'm going to get out of here. I got more to do. Y'all have a good one. Let's see if I can bust a big cloud with this one. Not trying to. Y'all have a good one.